My Facebook picture was my Redeemer Media picture that they drew up for that.
There it is. Technical difficulties have been resolved, and it looks like they just restarted new positions.
So I know this map now, thanks to Sean
Got it.
and his resourcefulness. And I would say this is a map where G5 might be able to thrive because he can take 3 bases without vultures being an absolute nuisance. Like, it looks like the 3 base setup for Protoss is one where you can defend vulture harass pretty easily. You can also defend drops pretty easily. So if G5 wants to go the build a Nexus, build a Nexus, build a Nexus PVT strat, then this, I think, would be a map where he can do pretty well. And in these positions, he can like kind of crawl out to the top left and or to the, he's at the bottom right.
No, you're right. He's top right.
He's top right. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, expand away from the Terran, and that would be good for him. So
They had a really funny moment yesterday because I asked Nyoken, I was like, Marines don't work in TVP, man. He's like, and he looks, he's answering my question, but he turns and looks at G5 and says, they do if you're a greedy Protoss. And you know they're thinking about that today.
Yeah, I mean, on this map, Terrans just have a really effective route to turtling, because in the same way that you can shut down vulture harass, those same angles are just find a wall off, build supply depot, chains, take your third, you can get a fourth up. And so, you know, if we're looking at super modern Terran versus Protoss, it's a lot of turtley Terran play versus a lot of fast Arbiter play from Protoss to try to just apply as much pressure as possible, and those wind up being some really cool games.
What you have to do as Protoss is make sure you get an observer into the base, see how many factories they have, and you just know if they're going to just be sticking on 2 factories.
I can't believe
expanding.
No one has said that once this entire event. That's like the most important thing in PvT, is to get an observer and just count factories and when they're built.
And that style of play was popular when I was in the Courage tournament, and when I actually lost 2-1 in the final.
Big mistake there.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt.
So if you click on the gas just before it finishes, they don't actually start mining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I lost, it was actually to the deciding game was in a game where the Terran turtled, and I had to identify that, you know, he was turtling, and I was going to have to prepare for the big max out battle. And it kind of like, even though you have the run of the map and you can expand and do whatever you want, and you know the Terran's not going to bother you, you feel the pressure because that attack from the Terran is so powerful. And there really aren't any good, effective harass options, so you're just like frantically macroing, trying to build your own perfect counter army. And Arbiters really take a long time to tech to, so if you don't get that scout in, you don't recognize soon enough that you need to play for the ultra late game, then you will not have the army that's ready to deal with the Terran turtle.
Yeah, I mean, that can't be overstressed. That, like, you know, it's not like, oh, he is going for the turtle build, let me build 2 of these things that now counter that. You know? You have to go, okay, let me completely rearrange the order I was going to do things in, get these expansions up, make sure they're defended properly, make sure I get my gateways produced in time, because if you build too many gateways too early, you don't quite have enough money to take extra expansions, and so you eventually lose in the long run. If you
go ahead.
Yeah, if you expand too much, then the push comes before you have any units. So I really feel like the pressure winds up being on the Protoss player to identify the timings.
But I like what Tyler said too. The word identify is really important, because it's like there's also not a flag that you put up and say I'm turtling. There are offbeat timings that can come off of that, and there's like stages you have to identify after that as well.
I was just going to get a free Dragoon.
He's just trying to buy time. That's all you can do at this point. Because the Protoss himself is trying to set up his expansion. He's trying to slow down the mining where Terran doesn't get as much of an economic advantage as you'd normally get.
Nice supply depot placement to wall off that Dragoon. Oh, great body blocking right there. I think he will be able to kill the Marine, maybe, barely. Yeah. But not the best exchange for G5. You kind of want to keep that Dragoon alive.
Yeah. I don't like what G5's doing. I saw it in another game with the next expansion. Why would you take that base? Why?
Because you can't get attacked.
You
mean this base specifically?
Yeah, there's no minerals there.
No gas?
So many Protosses do this. I'd rather just take another main. There's so many more minerals there. It's got the high ground advantage. You can defend it nice and easy. Tons of room to build gateways.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess he made some pretty good choices because he's playing and you're sitting here, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God! It's not even a joke. It's just like, well, I shot Legionnaire in the knee.
Hey, Tyler started
LeMayo.
Tyler sat down and plunged a spear into my chest, and I'm like, "Hey, Tyler, good to see you too."
Picking on all Aussies.
And you can pick on Aussies because they
calling
take it
us
so
convicts.
well. Well,
Yeah,
not
I know
calling
what you did. I know what you did.
and he's like, "And I'll steal your car later." Call me a convict. My grandpappy, rest his soul, in prison 24 years, would have had strong issue with that and murdered you too, probably.
Nick finds that so funny. Nick's laughing. Nick laughed so hard he fractured his other wrist. He's gonna come out with 2 casts. He's gonna be the esports penguin.
Oh, here we go.
Nyoken's got a trick up his sleeve.
He's gonna keep a
Called it.
Nick egg on his 2 little feet and raise it with his Nick blubber on top of it.
Nick, I don't know what to tell you, but this is a laugh fracture. It's the first of its kind.
All right, so Nyoken is actually doing the I don't want to play a game build, which is he's going to build 4 barracks, he's going to build a whole bunch of Marines and medics, and do 1 big timing push, and everything rests on that. And if you're G5 and you spot this,
G5 also saw it come
Still
out
hard.
yesterday, and like
Yeah.
I said, Nyoken looked right at him and said, "This is what he does against Greedy Protoss." So I wonder, because G5 won a lot of games back in the day off of being very good, obviously, but also being very aware of who he's playing against. He got away with stuff against Artosis that he would not then try against somebody else. He played to the opponent. So I wonder, I mean, or he could just keel over and die to this, who knows, but...
yeah, I think you need to get to 5 gateways pretty quickly against this. And it's not Nyoken auto wins, it's that it's a very strong timing. But the way that you need to kill it as G5 is just to have super, super, super good Dragoon control and pick off Marines.
Yeah, you need to have 4 Dragoons right at the ramp, up just outside his base.
Yeah.
Because they'll just one-shot Marines and he just stutter steps backwards.
That observer needs to keep going
Yeah,
and check things out.
That's like the little observer that couldn't, man. Yeah, I mean, like, stopping at 4 gateways is like, it feels very nice if you're Protoss. It's like you're getting enough units, you can make around a Zealots and get them into a shuttle, but you really kind of need 5 or 6 to be able to hold off this push, because this is just coming at a really brutal time. And now he knows. Beautiful timing by Nyoken. A lot of Terrans wait a little too long because they want to have a bigger surprise, but like any number of Marines is so horrifying with medics early on.
Protoss has spent so much time just building probes, they're just not ready at this point.
Well, we'll see. It's a good number of Dragoons to start, and you got to go across those ramps. Or ramp? No, it's ramps. The double.
The double bridge. Oh, there's the scan. That is a really essential scan, because the way that you lose this as Terran is you get minerals picked off, you get tanks picked off.
Tanks are up in the front. He can pick off
This is
two
a
tanks.
nice angle for G5. This is really lovely. And he's going to get the second tank, and he needs to back up.
Okay.
Very nicely controlled by G5.
I'm gonna. Does anybody else think the commentators might have called this a little bit early?
I was telling you he was
call
going
it?
to win.
You guys said this is a really nice time by Nyoken and G5.
It is?
Yeah, and then Pete follows it up with, "Yay, you're just making too many probes right now,
Well,
mate." You guys are pretty down on this.
I wasn't expecting him to donate 10.
You were like, "You need 6 gateways. 4 is just not enough." I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of comments, guys.
The push is still going, Jeff.
Yeah, my point exactly.
You're looking at outpoints in the middle of the attack.
It's literally my point. Thank you.
The longer it goes, the better it's for G5. So
Yeah.
if Nyoken couldn't completely cross the bridge,
Beep,
hey,
Sorry, what's that?
I was. It was these guys. I'm on your side.
Dude, it is a good timing. We literally saw it work yesterday.
I
What are you talking about?
I like Arto's position here. I agree.
If he's going for the slow siege mode there, I think he should have brought a couple SCVs just
God,
to bunker
I
up.
want Nyoken to win this so bad, just so I can make eye contact directly with Jeff's soul.
Do you remember my comments on this game, Jeffrey? Do you remember they happened minutes ago, Jeffrey? I was talking about how good this position was
Shoot
for
it.
Nyoken.
Finish him. Finish him.
GG! Oh, don't get the other shot off. Oh, that was
He
nice.
should have shot like an hour ago, though.
So-
That was crazy.
Now go to Nyoken's main base. Look at this transition. Factories. Boom. There they are.
3rd CC. It's looking
Pow.
good.
Bam. Boom.
I mean, this all starts with Legionnaire's comment earlier, though, where he said, if he hadn't taken that base, imagine if it was the other main. Never would have lost the probes.
Well, G5 is... He's not dead right now, but, you know, he's getting Zealots and he doesn't have speed, and obviously Marines are just amazing against that.
Yeah. Still making the Marines. Oh my god! The probes are like, nope, it's not safe. Like you guys were saying, by the way, it's looking really good for Nyoken.
Yeah. Boom, take that. 1-0.
So if the robotics was built closer to the ramp, the Reaver would have come out in time to stop this push and win
Did
the
he?
game.
So you can't
Building
attack.
placement is very
You
important.
can't attack move a Reaver, right? It gets weird. Or do you target it?
You can attack move a Reaver. It just
You can.
sometimes
But what
walks.
happened there? Because it shot way shallow.
It shoots and then it walks. So, all right, there's
Or
a
in this
counterattack
case, it
from
didn't
G5,
shoot and it
but,
walked.
I mean, Nyoken, does he not have mines? This will be very difficult to hold without a lot of losses, without mines, but it's fine to take a lot of losses, honestly.
Yeah. I think the Marines just keep on going to the natural and probably win the game.
Those SCVs are doing a good job.
The linebackers.
But if he has a Reaver pop out that sits on top of the ramp,
I mean, he'll
Does
hold
he?
the main, but he'll lose the natural, right? Which is
This goes down to one base versus one base. It's
Oh,
so
even-
awesome. Ooh,
Nyoken
nice
found
scout,
it.
Nyoken.
nah.
Nyoken
Nyoken's
will
got
hold
it.
this man.
Nyoken's got it.
Yeah.
It's hard to win this as G5.
Yeah, it was a very good
Oh, I
timing by
didn't
him.
see that base. oh goodness! It's another expansion.
Yeah. I just think that right there is the issue. No Reaver popped out. Even if a Reaver did, if you split the Marines, you can, right?
Yeah, it's just hard. You just
Yeah.
need like lots and lots of dragoons and continuous good engagements.
Valiant effort. Credit where credit's due. You guys had faith this was a good push. I didn't. You were right. I was wrong.
We'll need you to admit that about every 10 minutes for the rest of the day.
If I must. If I must.
We need that tattooed on your forehead before the end of the
Well,
show.
hang on now. That's a bit far. Forehead real estate for me runs really expensive.
Yeah, how
I
much?
got a lot of forehead up here. More every day, someone said.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm having. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, no, my hairline is kind of like how they describe glaciers. They're like, every year, millimeter by millimeter, it slowly pushes north.
Oh my god. Just hope like a... Oh, wait, never mind. G5 wins. Cool. All right, so that was a good game.
Yeah.
Look at that scan, man. It's top notch.
You didn't even hear them attack,
You
just
just saw him.
snap scan. Nyoken is... I'm actually impressed at this transition from Nyoken. There's the GG. Yeah, a really nice transition from Nyoken to be going for the Medic Marine, but